Hi guys, it's Dre2584. In this video, I'm going to talk about a scale I came up with known as the LTM scale. It works similarly to the Richter scale, which is used to measure the strength of earthquakes, but this one I came up with is used to measure time. LTM is an acronym for Logarithmic Time Measurement. What makes this measurement of time unique from the rest of them is that it goes up exponentially as you increase the number. When you go up 1 unit, it increases the amount of time by a tenfold. If you don't get it yet, don't worry. I'm about to start explaining what it's like as we go up the scale, starting with 0.0. A 0.0 on the LTM scale is simply just 1 second. That's about how long it's been between the start of this sentence and the end of the last one. A 1.0 on the LTM scale is 10 seconds long. I'll demonstrate it by stopping for this length of time. That's how long a 1.0 is. It's quite a big difference from a 0.0 already. Does it make sense now? To get to a 2.0, you have to multiply it by 10 again, which makes a 2.0 on the LTM scale 100 seconds, or a minute and 40 seconds. And no, I'm not going to stop the video to demonstrate this time. It's already way too long for that. So now we're getting into a length of time that could be a song length, but this would be a short song though. You also may be wondering, what if we went in between two numbers on the scale? Well, you already know if you go up a whole unit, that multiplies the amount of time by 10. For some other approximations, going up by 0.3 LTM makes it about double the amount of time. Going up 0.5 makes it about triple the amount. And going up 0.7 makes it about 5 times the amount. So as you know, 2.0 LTM is 100 seconds, or a minute and 40 seconds. That makes 3.0 LTM 1,000 seconds, or 16 minutes and 40 seconds. That's about the length of an average sitcom or cartoon episode. That's also commonly the approximate length of my overview, food challenge, and top 10 list videos. My longest video, released on September 1st, 2021, reached 3.4. You can check it out if you want to see how long it is. Next is a 4.0 on the LTM scale. This is 10,000 seconds, or 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds, which is about the length of a long movie, an average professional sports game, or an average concert. In general, this number of units pertains to a lot of activities we participate in that'll bring meaning to our days. So, find some 4.0 activities to do in the near future. A 5.0 on the LTM scale is 100,000 seconds. That makes for 1 day, 3 hours, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds. To compare with the previous 4.0, that amount of time into a person's day would keep them in the AM hours as long as they were awake before 9:13. But a 5.0 would be more than what many people have ever stayed awake for. This is over 27 hours, and most I've done in my life was 21 or 22. A 6.0 on the scale is 1,000,000 seconds. That's 11 days and about 13 hours, which is exactly a week and a half plus 1 more hour. I've got a tip for the next time you want to take a nice long vacation in the summer. Tell the people you're going with that you want to shoot for a 6.0 vacay, which means you'll stay there for this duration of time. So you'll be there for either 11 or 12 nights, depending on whether or not you arrive at your destination in the morning. A 7.0 on the scale is 10,000,000 seconds. This is 115 days and about 17 hours. It's also 3 months and 13 to 15 days, depending on which month your starting point is in. This is roughly the length of a season during the year. It starts to drag a little more now. If you were to time travel this amount of time into the future or into the past, there would be a 63% chance that one or the other would take you into a new year. An 8.0 on the LTM scale is 100 million seconds. This adds up to 3 years and 62 days. Now you can really start to notice how quickly the numbers get big. Now we're in a time frame where if you'd travel this far in the future or past, you may be in a whole new chapter of your life and look a lot different. Both especially apply with the children and adolescents. It was right at the end of 2021, this time period ago. A 9.0 on the scale is an enormous transition from the previous number compared to the rest of them. This is 1 billion seconds, or 31 years and 259 days. This is about the length of a full generation. In this amount of time in the future, I'll be 51 years old. Oh my goodness gracious, I'll be an old man. And if we went the other way, I wouldn't have even been born yet. It was 1993 this long ago. If we were to measure our ages using the LTM scale, a person who is an 8.0 would be just a toddler, but a 9.0 person would be well into their adulthood. As a 19-year-old, my age is currently at an 8.7. You thought this was a big transition from the previous number? This is nothing compared to the next one. 10.0 LTM is 10 billion seconds, or 317 years, and 35 days. Do I even need to say how many days anymore? If we were to travel this amount of time into the future, forget about it. We would all be long gone. The oldest that someone can live on this scale is 9.5, which is about 100 years. If we traveled a 10.0 into the past, we'd be in 1708. That's before George Washington or Mozart were even born. The world was tremendously different that long ago, and I bet it will be this far into the future as well. While this may seem like a long time, it still makes up just a small fraction of human history. But what if I don't stop here and go over what an 11.0 on the LTM scale is like? This is 100 billion seconds, or 3,170 years. According to what I have always believed in growing up, this is the highest full unit number on the scale that mankind has reached. If we traveled back this far in time, we'd be in 1146 BC. What the world will be like this far into the future is beyond our comprehension or imagination. Now, the next accomplishment for human history is a 12.0, a trillion seconds, which is over 31,000 years. This is as far as I'm going in this video. This is such an incredibly long period of time, and it feels to the average person like this is basically an eternity. That right there should tell you guys how massive 1 trillion truly is, especially considering we're measuring in seconds. So now you see how my logarithmic time measurement scale works, and how quickly it escalates. You may be wondering, what if we're measuring times less than a second? Can we do that? Here's a chart to recap everything. That's where the scale goes into the negatives. For instance, a negative 1.0 is roughly the shortest amount of time that an average person can conceive. A negative 3.0 is 1 millisecond, and we can go further and further to make some unimaginably small time frames. And that's all I've got to say about the LTM scale. Bye, guys. Before I go, I've just got one last thing. The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions!